class. I wanted to make a video today for you just to kind of walk you through week 4 a little bit and also to say hi. It's chilly here in Ohio today. Yesterday was beautiful. So I have my cozy fleece on, still have my wet hair. I feel like every day we really don't obviously go anywhere. So it's usually a cozy sweatshirt or fleece. But again, I hope everyone's doing well with the pandemic. And, if something does come up, you get sick, other things come up, you need to take care of family, relatives, please let me know. I'm really flexible and I would I think you think I'm easy to work with. So, again, reach out if something comes up. Again, reach out if you have any questions. I feel like you guys have been doing a really good job about emailing me if any questions come up because that's what I'm here for. Okay, so I'm going to kind of dive into this week. It won't be long. I just wanted to go over the learner profile data. This part can be super confusing. I did try to highlight it here or bold it, I guess, in the announcement, but I just wanted to go over it. Oh, there we go. Real quick here. I thought I had brought it up, but somehow, oh, it's because it's in that same tab. All right, I'll change that here after I get done recording this. Okay, so basically the 2 assignments this week, this is your last week with 2 assignments, and then next week we'll go back to a discussion and an assignment. So this is all about data, whichever you say it, I like to say data. So this learner profile data at first, I know when I looked at it, I actually had to reach out to the dean the first time I taught this course because it definitely didn't make little sense. And then he explained it to me. I was like, okay, that makes sense now. Obviously, this is kind of like a sample data. You're going to use this data kind of throughout, or at least for this course, with differentiation and stuff. But it can be I feel like this data is very common in what you see in a class of 20 to 24. So I'm just going to kind of go over this real quick. The biggest thing I know when I was confused, so here you have their reading score, what they're getting in the class, their percentage, and if they're on, below, or above, and then the same thing, you have their math score on, above, and below, their interests, their areas where they can grow in, their strengths, and then any other. They might have a visual, communications, behavior plan. I know I had a lot of students on behavior plan. This is something to think of too. Student H, we've got they're excelling in both reading and math. Their interests are social, but they're struggling with that motivation piece and things like that. Okay, so the biggest thing is here, I want to find, oh, I went too far. All right, so here we have student D. For math, they're scoring a 98, but they're below grade level. So right there is telling me, okay, they're doing well with their percentage, but they're below grade level. So that means teacher is definitely using some modifications. And if you look over here to other, they're having visual issues. So that could definitely math, maybe some more manipulatives can be used if you are teaching a math unit. So that's an example. Another one, student I down here, they're scoring a 96, but they are below grade level for reading. So that, and then up over here it says reading and math too for areas of opportunity. So they're doing well at the level that they're being modified at, but the teacher is, not using grade level, which is fine, but then, sorry. But you can use this data to kind of show, okay, how do I want to differentiate, and really look at their interests. I'm a really big advocate on motivation, choice, engagement. We've got sports, cars, social, cooking, all of that. So that I kind of wanted to help uh, clarify anything with that learner profile data because you could be like, what? How are they above or below grade level and they're scoring a 96. So that explains that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go back here. So for that first assignment, I'm just going to dissect the learner profile data. And again, you don't have to go in crazy detail, but just breaking it up a little bit. You don't have to explain every single student, but maybe, group them here. Oh, if I'm seeing, so many students, or you can point out, like I did with student I, they are scoring a 96, but they're below grade level. So kind of just breaking down that data a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be crazy detail. And then you're going to kind of take that data and be like, and use that, for what you're going to do with the data you want to do in your unit, and try to be a little bit more specific. Yes, and you're going to use informal assessments, but what would they be? And again, you don't have to create them or anything like that, but maybe go in a little bit more detail. Maybe you're going to do an exit slip after a certain lesson to start collecting. Maybe you're going to have a checklist that you're going to use throughout the unit and to keep track. I love, well, I've also taught younger kids, but I loved anecdotal notes. I had my iPad always and my Excel sheet. I would be writing down, notes in there. I love doing that to just collect information. And again, the performance assessment, are you going to use a rubric? What type or what kind of, assessment would it be? Performance based, and a little bit more detail about it. One thing I love to do with my students is, and it did take extra time, usually actually took a whole extra day, but the start of a unit, and I knew it was going to be performance based with the rubric. I let the students create the rubric. Now I had some, of course, guidelines or categories in my mind already, but I really made that student led. So the students felt like they were creating the rubric themselves. And then so the end, I felt like they really knew what they wanted or what was expected of them because they were part of that process of creating it. So that's kind of something to think about too. And then the 4-2 journal, this one is just more of a reflection. The first part, you're going to explain the relationship between data and UDL and how that would look, especially that comprehension piece. See that connection there. And then reflecting kind of on your unit. And you don't have to go on super detail, but just how is data going to impact your unit? So maybe be a little specific, but again, a page is fine for that journal, 1 to 2 pages. And again, if you feel like you need to cover more, that's okay. I'm not very particular on that page requirement. I know I probably couldn't keep sending the page requirements that are offered. I feel like I would always go over. So, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on those two. So I hope that helped a little bit, and I didn't take up too much of your time. Again, I'm here for any questions. Please let me know, and I hope